Okay, good morning everyone. We started second unit, that is classes, objects and methods. So in that we studied introduction to classes, next defining a class, field declaration, method declaration, creating objects, accessing class members and constructors, method overloading and static members. And today we'll see what is inheritance. We'll discuss what is inheritance. Okay, so basically what is inheritance? So inheritance is the property, the subclass or a child class, or in generally we will when we speak in generally, the inheritance is the one class acquiring the properties of another class. So that is what the inheritance in generally, that is we call it as the inheritance, the one class which acquires the properties of another class. So in technically speaking, the here the child class or a subclass inheriting properties of a parent class or a superclass. So when one class is inheriting, means inheriting a property, so the inheriting the properties of a parent class. So the class which inherits the property of parent class, we can say the child class. So the class when we creating, which inherits the properties of another class, which inheriting the properties means, so there is a one class, we can consider, we can take it as a parent class, and we are extending that class. So the class we are extending, that is called as a child class. So this child class inherits the properties of a parent class. Alright, so see the child class, subclass and derived class, we can both are same. So child class inheriting the properties of parent class, or you can say the subclass inheriting the properties of a superclass, or you can say the derived class, or you also consider, we consider it as a derived class. So derived class can inherit the properties of base class. Okay, so now here in the second point, incorporate the definition of one class into another class by using a extend keyword. So when we see how to achieve this inheritance, so in Java it is possible by using a keyword extends. For example, if a class A is there, class A is a parent class, and we can extend we can create one more class called as a B, class B, and the class B can extend A. So how to write this, we'll see in example. See, for example, here, see within this example we'll see how to see the class A. Here is the class A. This class A is called as a parent class or a super class. Okay, now this super class or a base class, it inherits the property. See, this is the parent, we call it as a parent class. Now here we extended the class A for a B. See, we are creating a class B and which extends a class A. So we see here indirectly, now class B inherits the properties of all, inherits or acquires the properties of a super class. Here class B is a subclass or a child class. Here class A is a parent class or a super class. So now this B inherits all the properties of a class A. How? We'll see in this example. See, inheriting the properties. So inheriting the properties is nothing but the you can consider inheriting properties. So properties is nothing but the data members and member functions. Inheriting the properties. See here, the properties with respect to class A, with respect to class A is a parent class. So now the child class B is inheriting the properties. So inheriting the properties just nothing but the data members or a member functions or a member methods. Okay, now how we'll see within this example how it inherits the properties. See, within a class A we have we declare the two variables int I and j. Now we have a method called show ij. Okay, void show ij. So now what we are doing here, within this method we are just printing the I and j value. Okay, now coming to the next class, that is the child class, class B. Here we are declaring only one variable, that is k, and we have one method that is show k. Okay, in this method we we are printing a k value. Okay, now we have one more method here. This is important here. See, void sum. Okay, now void sum. Within this void sum method, we are just we calculating addition of 3 I, j, k. So now here I and j are not a data members of class B, not a data members of class B, that is a child class, but it is extending a class A. So the class A is a parent class. Now I and j are the data members of a class A, that is the parent class. So now this is what the inheriting the properties. Now inheriting properties means it inherits the data members of parent class, that is I and j. Now this is possible. See, we are calculating addition of three variables I, j, k. So now I is not a class. See, I and j are not the members of class B, since it is these two variables are the data members within a class A, that is a parent class. Okay. Now this is what we call it as the inheriting properties. Now we'll see how this works. See, we created a class called a simple inheritance. Within this we have a public static void main, that is this main method. Now we created a, see, with respect to two classes, super object is with respect to the super class A, and we created an object sub object, that is sub ob is a object with respect to the class B, that is child class. Now with respect see here, we are assigning a values for I and j. Since these two variables are variables or data members are with respect to a super class, so that is A. That is A means super OB, that is a super object. So by using this super OB object, we are assigning a values, okay, for I and j. Now here we are calling just a show ij. Now show ij is a method within a super class, that is show ij here. So since this is a method of method within declared within a class A, that is in a parent class, so we are just printing it. We are calling with respect to the super class object, that is super ob. Super ob is an object of class A, and we are calling this show ij method with respect to super ob. Now here sub ob I equal to 7, sub ob see here sub object I. See here the most important thing, I and j we are accessing with respect to the subclass, that is a child class object. Sub ob is a child class object. Okay. Now we are assigning I and j value by using sub object, that is sub object is a child class object. Okay. Now this is possible because it inherits the properties. Property is nothing but the data members. Okay. Now the data members of a super class. Now I and j are assigned. Okay. Now k is also assigned, so no problem with the k, because k is within a subclass, that is child class, that is B. K is declared within a B class, that is a subclass or a child class. Okay. Now this assignment, so it is not like see we assigned a k variable. Okay, no problem. So now here when calling sub object dot show ij. Now show ij with respect to here, important thing is show ij. Show, where is the show ij method? We declared the show ij method within a super class here. Within a super class we declared a show ij method. So now how can this we are calling this show ij method with respect to the child class object, that is B. Sub ob is an object of a B. B is a child class of a A. So now see here show ij sub ob dot show ij. So sub ob is a child class object, and we are calling this show ij method of a parent class with respect to the sub ob, that is sub ob is an object of child class. Okay. Next sub ob dot show k. Okay. Show k is a method declared within a child class, that is, so no problem. So we can access the, it is, since it is a local method, within a local data member or member function within a class B. So we there's no problem create calling this like see here, calling this method with respect to the same class object. Okay, no problem. Now here sub object sum, where is sub object sum method? We declared here sum. Okay, void sum. Now this method, this is the most important thing is here ijk. So we are performing an addition operation with respect to I plus j plus k. So now I and j are not a data members within a class B, but these are the data members within a class A here. Okay, so now since it is extending class A, that is the parent class A, so we can directly access these I and j values. Okay, we can directly access these I and j value. That is what we are doing here within a class B. It is inheriting the properties, so means it is inheriting the data members I and j. So now this is what see what is the output here. We'll see the contents of object B OB. See here we just printed the message. Next, super object dot show ij. Show ij is 10 and 20 because we assigned here 10 and 20 at the first time. We assigned 10 and 20 value. Next, contents of a sub object 7 and 8. Contents of a sub object 7 and 8. We assigned the ij value with respect by using a the child class object. That is child class object is a sub ob dot I. So since I and j are not a data members of subclass, these are the data members within a parent class. Okay, now we just assigned a value 7 and 8. We just printed by using a show ij method. Show ij method. Okay, next k, we just printed k value by using a show k method. So we call this method by using a child class object, that is show ob. So now this k value is printed. Okay, next sum of ijk in sub object. See by using a child class object we called a sum method. Okay, sum method, here is the sum method within a child class, that is class B. So within a within a class B we have a sum method. Now here what we are doing here, just adding a 3 variables values. Okay, I, j, k. I and j are, these are the data members of a parent class, and k is a local variable here. Okay, now this prints 24. Okay, this is what this is about the how to access the data members within a parent within a child class. Okay, now child class is studying like the child class or a subclass inheriting properties of a parent or a superclass. Parent class or a superclass, you can call it as a parent class or a superclass or a base class. So now specific definition is the one in generally the inheritance means the one class which acquires the properties of another class, that is called as inheritance. So that is what the child class or a subclass inheriting the properties or acquiring the properties of parent class or a superclass. That is what the definition of inheritance. Now how to create a how to extend a class. So incorporate the definition of a class into another by using a extend keyword. So to extend any classes we use the keyword extends. Okay, now there are types of inheritance. If asked in this question asked in external exam, write the definition and how to extend a class. Next, mention types of inheritance. There are types of inheritance, like a single inheritance. So single inheritance is one class. Okay, we have one parent class and we have one child class. That is, one class is extending another class. Just two classes, one parent class, only one subclass or one base class, or one base class and one derived class. Okay, one superclass and one subclass. Okay, you can say single inheritance means only one superclass and only one subclass, or only one child class, one parent class. Okay, see a multiple inheritance. So the multiple inheritance is, see we extend one class, we are extending one class. See means we have a two parent classes and by using a two parent classes we are creating a one class, that is two parent class one child class. So this is what the multiple inheritance means. By using a two super classes we are extending two superclass one subclass, that is the multiple inheritance. So since the multiple inheritance is not allowed in Java, okay, because of we discussed what is diamond problem and some ambiguity problem. So that is why that multiple inheritance is not possible in Java. So to achieve a multiple inheritance we use interface, okay, by extending a one class and by implementing a one interface. So we can achieve multiple inheritance by using a interface, okay. Now just to remember, see, types of inheritance are single, multiple. Next, multi-level. So multi-level inheritance is, suppose there is a class A, means it's a multi-level means so suppose there is a class A called is a parent class. Now class B is extending a class A, okay. Now class C, one more, we have a class C and which extends a class B. So now this is a multi-level. So multi-level hierarchy you can say. So multi-level means one child class extending a one parent class and one more child class which extending the already extended class. For example, the class A is a parent class and we can extend that class A in a class B. So we declared one more class called as a class B which extends one more class. See, the class B extends class A, now class C extends class B, okay. This is what the multi-level inheritance. Now hierarchical inheritance. So it's a combination of see, it's a combination of multi-level inheritance. Sorry, hybrid means hybrid means multi-level and hierarchical. Hierarchical means it's a multiple plus multi-level you can say, okay. Now this is the word hierarchical hierarchical. Just remember, just explain these points, that's enough. Now general form, see the class here, how to use class, see how to extend a class. So subclass is the first class, subclass extends super class name. So subclass name extends superclass name and the body of the class. So this is a general format you can see. And now the subclass includes all of the members of its superclass. As I said, it inherits the properties, means indirectly it accesses all the data members of a superclass. It inherits all the data members of a superclass. Now that is subclass inherits all the data members of a superclass, okay. That is what the child class inherits all the properties of parent class. So indirectly all the properties means the data members or member methods, okay. Now here the one more important point here, we cannot access those members of the superclass that have been declared as a private. So we have access specifiers like default, private, public and protected, okay. Now so default is a default. If you are not mentioning any access specifier, means that is a default, okay. If you mention that any variable is a private, that private data member cannot be accessed within a child class. Even after extending that class, if any data members within a parent class are declared as a private, so within a child class it is not possible to access those data members. So the private members are not allowed to access within a subclass. Just remember this point, okay. Now with respect to protected is also allowed, default is allowed, public is also allowed, but not private, okay. Next, the superclass variable can reference a subclass object. Now there is superclass variable can reference to a subclass object. Now see in the first one. Next we'll see how this is possible with an example. A reference variable of a superclass can be assigned a reference to a subclass derived from that superclass. Suppose, see we'll see with an example. Now when a reference to a subclass object is assigned to a superclass reference variable, will have access only to those parts of the object defined by the superclass. We'll see how it works with an example. Suppose Here we have two classes, class A, class B, which extends class A. Now this I and J are with respect to the class A, and the data members with respect to class A. Here the class B is with the class which extends class A. Here K is a data member within a class B here. Now here the most important, super object. Okay, super object, see A super OB new A means it is a super OB is an object with respect to class A, that is parent class. Sub OB is an object with respect to the B class. So now here there is a possibility like we can assign the parent class variable reference variable to a child class. See how to do this. So if I write here super OB equal to sub OB. Now this here, this super OB, see sub OB is an object of a child class. Now this pointing to a super class variable. So this pointing to a super class variable or a instance variable or a reference variable. Okay, now here the most important point, as I said, there is a condition like the reference here, when reference to a subclass object is assigned to a superclass, the reference variable will have access only to those parts of the object defined by the superclass. Those parts of the object defined by the superclass. Now how it works, we'll see how it works. Wait.